Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Today is my November favorites and fails. I'm a bit late this month, but I'm here, and I guess that's all that really matters, right? I have only a few favorites for the month of November, and I have a couple of fails, and they're very similar in product, but also how they failed. So let's go over those fairly quickly and jump in to my favorites for November. In November, I was trying out multiple samples of primers, and two of them were epic fails for me. One is the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Primer Moisturizer. So I took this as it's a moisturizer that also works as a primer, a smoothing primer, and I never used it as just a moisturizer, but when I used it as a primer, my skin became extremely dry. It felt like clay. It was heavy on my skin, and it just felt like, dirt that's sucking all the moisture out of my skin. Nor did my foundation lay very well on this primer, which surprised me. Now, I didn't notice my skin being tight prior to me putting on my foundation, so maybe as a moisturizer it would work, but as a primer it was an epic fail, and my skin looked it as well. And to go hand in hand with that was my Benefit Professional. This is the hydrating primer. Same exact outcome. Very dry on my face. I felt like I had a very thick film of primer on underneath my foundation. There is zero hydration involved with this primer, and it just was a really unpleasant heaviness to my skin, and my skin looked like it was dry. So there was no type of, hydrating, nourishing, moisturizing properties of this primer on my skin. And so I was really bummed because I had wanted to try this hydrating primer for a long time, and unfortunately it was a big fail. So those were my two fails. I mean, thankfully there's only two, but they had so much in common. It quite odd, in my opinion. Now for favorites, I have a few, and we won't go over this one very long. This is Benefit's Dandelion Twinkle Highlighter. I talked about this in one of my videos, my influenced video, and how Becky Loves Kanga had influenced me to buy this, but I never used it. So I pulled it into my shop, my stash, and man, I love this. Every time I do my makeup, I don't wear makeup every day, but every time I have done my makeup since putting this in Shop My Stash, I have to use it. It is just that beautiful, whether I use it as a highlighter or on my lid, inner corner, brow bone, you name it. Whenever given the chance, I throw this puppy on. It is beautiful. It's a very beautiful peachy highlighter that is very soft. It can be built up to be a little bit blinding if you want it to, but overall, it's a really beautiful soft peach highlighter. So if you like a peach highlighter, you might check out the Dandelion Twinkle. This is their small box, which costs $17. Their full size costs $30, but there's no need for it. If you have a lot of highlighters, or if you go through highlighter slowly like I do, this small box it's perfect. I used Let Me Pass by ColourPop in a Saturday Singles, thanks to Nona over at My So-Called Life 1977. She had asked me to use Let Me Pass and another shade to make a look, because this was in my fall favorites for Super Shocks, and I made that look and I fell in love with Let Me Pass all over again. Now, mind you, it is not a shade that I use year round. It's this really beautiful burnt orange, but it is such an amazing shade at this time of year, in fall, heading into winter. It's just so stunning, striking. After that look, I used it again to make a one and done eye look, and it was phenomenal. Just beautiful, completely blown out all over the lid. I truly love Let Me Pass, and I'm so glad that Nona asked me to do a look using Let Me Pass, because I don't think I would have pulled it out otherwise, just because it's that type of shade that I can find, or I think I can find in a palette, but they're not quite as unctuous, as full-bodied as Let Me Pass is. So if you love a good burnt orange shadow, check out Let Me Pass. It's really good. Shop My Stash has been really good for me in that I brought in my Aloha Blush Stick by ColourPop, and this is just like a peachy nude. It's definitely more of a neutral blush, and I have really enjoyed it. I enjoy the shade. You guys know I am not a huge nude blush wearer, but this shade has just enough, balance between a peach and a brown that it really makes me feel like I have a little bit of a sun kiss to my cheeks whenever I put this on. It just gives me that really healthy kind of goldeny suntan. I don't want to say sun like a sunburn, because there's nothing red or pinkish about it, but it's more like a golden suntan, from the sun kissing my cheeks and it having faded into a beautiful tan. I love it. I do have it on today underneath my bronzer and my blush, but I have truly enjoyed this to the point that I'm thinking about panning it next year, because I'm really enjoying it. And I don't know if I could pan a blush stick, because there's a lot of product in these, but as I'm preparing for panning next year, this has definitely been on my radar to pan, and that's a lot of blush, a lot of cream blush. For skincare, I have this Moisture Boost Cooling Algae Eye Serum, and this is by Tony Moly. Holy moly, this is really good eye product. It is very hydrating. It is a gel, and it comes out somewhat cooling on when you pull it out. So it's just a clear gel, almost like water. Do you see that? So it's very fluid, very lightweight, but it has this cooling sensation to it. And so when you put it on, it sinks in rather quickly. It doesn't take a whole lot of this eye gel, and it just lays down a ton of hydration in my eye. in my under eye area, and I do put it on my orbital, on my orbital bone, but where I notice it the most is in my under eye area. It is so hydrating, so stinking lovely. Does it have a scent? It has a really light scent, but it's like a fresh scent, so it's almost hard to discern. I notice it when I first start applying the eye gel, and then I don't notice it anymore, but there is a slight scent to it. But holy smokes, my under eye area loves this stuff. It definitely feels like it's taking a drink of water when I use this. And this little tube right here is going to last me forever because you use just a little amount of this product. So I am going to enjoy this very small tube for as long as it is with me because I am enjoying this a lot. I don't know how much it costs for a full size of this, but when I get through all the eye creams, even though I don't have a lot of eye creams that I know I like, but when I'm done with them all, this and the Kopari Starry Eye Balm will definitely be on my radar. An item from my Shop My Stash has been my nude sticks. These are my lip colors, and you guys have seen them in the majority of my looks since I did my last Shop My Stash. I wear these all the time. I have 2 lip crayons. One is Purity and one is Belle. This is Belle. And then Purity is what I have on today. Belle is more of a pink. Purity is more of a deeper, deeper brownish nude. I have worn the heck out of both of these to the point that they're not sharpening. Even though I'm using my nude stick sharpener, it's no longer removing all of the black plastic around it. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take a knife to it to sharpen the edges like I would a stick. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. But I'm really enjoying these. If I can't get these to sharpen anymore, at least I got good use out of them. And I've had these for a few years, but putting them in my Shop My Stash has really made me fall in love with both of these shades all over again because the Nude Sticks formula is so comfortable. Even though it dries down matte, it doesn't feel matte whatsoever. And I just love a good nude lip, especially a darker nude like Purity. I just think it's really pretty. And the last item in my favorites this month is my CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Foundation. This is a lightweight, light coverage foundation. Beautiful, beautiful foundation. It lays down beautifully. Now my cheeks are really flushed because for some reason I'm hot at the moment and I don't know why. So that flush of my cheeks has come through because this is a light coverage, but the finish is so beautiful. It makes it look really soft and smooth. I wouldn't say my skin feels hydrated, but I don't know if that's the primer I'm using or if it's this foundation with the Ciate London Watermelon Primer. I don't have that problem when I use those two together. I've had that discomfort with the other 2 primers I've talked about. And today, while it's not really tight, it feels a little dry, not to the point of uncomfortable, but a little dry. So I know that paired with the right primer, this is very comfortable. But what I like about this is the finish. I think the finish is phenomenal. It is very pretty, very smooth, and I like that because, well, because I am older and I don't have the smoothest skin, so I will take a smooth canvas, a smooth looking canvas any day of the week. I did miss one, and that is in the skincare department, and that is my Tatcha Rice Wash. This is a face cleanser, and this is amazing, guys. It has a little bit of exfoliating properties in there that are really soft and gentle on your skin. It doesn't tear up your skin in any way unless you really get in there aggressive with it, like with a loofah and this rice wash. That's the only way I could see it tearing up your skin, because it really is a gentle cleanser. This doesn't dry my skin out whatsoever. It doesn't strip my natural oils from my face. It just washes away the day's dirt and lets me go on about my business of putting on moisturizer. It has a really soft scent. It took me a moment to get used to that scent because at first it was a little powerful, but not so much that it was a deterrent, but it did take me a hot minute to get used to it. What I like about this the most is it lathers. I am a huge proponent for a cleanser, a face cleanser that lathers. I like to see that my cleanser is working, even though ones that don't lather I know work. I like to see it. I am definitely one who needs that visual satisfaction of knowing that there is a lather there to really make my mind say, yeah, my face is getting clean. Amazing, amazing product. I got this from Influenster to try, and I'm thankful to them and Tatcha for letting me try this. I have been loving on it, and yeah, this bottle, I was thinking, man, I'm gonna have to buy this, but this bottle is gonna last forever, in that you only use a pea-size amount, so it doesn't take a whole lot. All right, guys, that's it for my November favorites and a couple of fails. What were some of your favorites for the month of November? I stumbled over the word November. Did you guys see that? Please take good care. Be safe, be smart, and I will see you on the next one.